we are having technical difficulties. This is a bummer. Got this nice camera and I can't seem to use it. Wait. Let me see if restarting that helps. None of my cameras working? You gotta be kidding me. There we go. Anyway, welcome. Sorry for the technical delay. For those who are new, I am working on a survival horror FPS co-op game, which is basically, the idea is going to be, it's going to be like a Left 4 Dead meets Five Nights at Freddy's kind of style game, more on the Left 4 Dead side, but instead of zombies you'll have like animatronics, and I'm trying to make it co-op, so we'll see how this goes. It's just a little loud. There we go. Okay, perfect. Let me get my other editor open here. Cool. That going. Now I left off trying to get it to where the guns were placed correctly and were well synced and all that stuff. Let's actually just go ahead and play here. Ready? Hit start. All right. Like, for some reason it always does this. It needs to, like, whenever I first run it, it needs to like warm up. I'll have to fix that later. I don't know what's causing that. I barely have anything in the scene anyway. I don't know why it's. Is my computer like overperforming or anything like that? No, computer's fine. Other than, oh well, maybe hard drive. Maybe it's hard drive usage. But other than that, everything looks fine. This game is still, it says it's loading still. Well. There we go, okay. A little bit of weird flickering, like the right hand is like flickering in and out on the right, if you see that. Don't have any shooting working. And zoom. The shadow looks weird. Probably because whatever the positioning that we have of that for the object on that is off. But we can see about fixing that. Yeah, this is what is visible from a first-person perspective. The shadow, so the shadow object needs to be altered a little bit. So let me fix that. Where's our player? Alright. Let's see, here we go. Okay, so this is our player. Those are the first person objects, and those are only view. Those are fine. What I need is the third person objects. Nope, spine. Right shoulder. Do I not have it set up? Right hand. Oh wait, it's okay. Just one more step. Okay. Items. Ah, see that? That is very much off. So that is invisible. Figure out the positioning of that. Which is going to be fun to figure out. Well, sort of. If I can get it to where it'll show correctly for our other player, I can modify it there, get the coordinates and all that stuff, and it should be fine. So, one second. Remember to close Discord and open Discord again. Okay. Also, how's our other? Oh, the other one's here. Cool. So let's actually do that. Play there. Play here. Oh, crap. You go over here. There we go. Okay. So if I do host, Client. Ready? Yep. Ready. Start. Now there's our other guy. We're getting some errors here, which I'm gonna have to fix. But oh, okay. See, that happens at the end. Add it again. Host, client, ready, start. Oop. Okay, now we're working. Here, I get. Oop. Let you guys see. I can't move though for some reason. I mean, I can turn, but I can't move this guy. Why can he not move? Huh. Oh wait. That. Oh, player input controller is still enabled on both. I need to disable that. Okay. That should not happen. Okay. So the issue why that guy can't move is probably because damn, that needs to be disabled because it's one of those client only behaviors. Anything that I have in here in this list needs to be disabled. Oh wait, there it is. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it. Let's try that again. So I'm noticing that we already have it to where the other players is holding the gun correctly. Or is holding, he's got the hands in position and all, but there's no gun. Probably because I don't have it set up. Now the gun's probably there, it's probably just still hidden. It doesn't know how to handle that. Yeah, see. Okay, so we're still getting tons of errors. I have no clue what's causing that. There, one can move. You cannot move. Why can you not move? What is wrong? Nope, still can't move. Right now, only player 1 can move. Well, why is that the case? Keyboard and mouse. Same thing. Huh. Oh, wait, I noticed that. Actually, in my other screen here, the other player doesn't have the gun shown, but he is pointing, like holding it out in front of him. Okay. So, we need to get the movement back up and working for player 2. Part of it might be is this error here. That player has multiple network ID components. Huh. Let's something wrong with the animation. Of course, I guess we're not done setting up these players, so. Sure, I was working on this network item handler. Could this be what's breaking it? Where did I put this? I know I already put this on an object already. That. What happens if I remove that? Maybe that's what'll fix it. Right. Play. Because maybe it's the networking package that's complaining about there being multiple IDs, so it doesn't know what to do. Still getting errors, but nope, no movement. Well, what happened to the movement? Default map gameplay. It's because we switched to C# events. Let's try that. Because that's going to complain. Ready. Start. Nope, that's not it. I have some move around is fine. Alright. I'm not sure. Well, let's go back to our player here. So that didn't work. We'll just switch that back. Here's the pistol. Put this back on there. Although, if I remember correctly, this didn't work anyway, so... I wonder if there's a way to get... Wait, there isn't is active. Is active. Set active. Activates or deactivates the visible item. Or some perspective item. Wait, hold on. If I do that, maybe that'll work. Set active. False. Does the inventory contain the item? True. Oh, so that doesn't have that. Well, what do you have? Look sensitivity, all that stuff. Maybe this doesn't matter. Maybe it's it needs the other guy to even function. Can fire. Wait, third person weapon properties. No. Let's just leave this one alone. Let's see if just doing this will work. Okay, so for first person, I want to deactivate that one, set that to active, and then set first person perspective item. Although, how do we handle it the other way around? This might be something. Local player. Well, it does. Let's actually try this instead. So if it's the local player, which is this guy, then we'll do that. Otherwise, we switch it. And then okay. See if this works. Still probably won't fix the movement issue that we're having, but we'll figure that one out. Oops. Post. Aligned. Hey, we're not getting like enormous amounts of errors now. We still don't see a gun, although they're holding, okay, they're holding their hands up differently. Although, wait, I don't see a gun. Okay, so probably didn't work. Hey, we can actually move now. Well, we now know what the cause was for that. Huh. Okay, but we're not seeing... I guess we can take this opportunity to actually look at... See, that part was working. Okay, but our first person arms are gone. Something's... yeah, something's not working right. Let's find, where's the gun? So this is just the inventory item, which is, yeah, that's just there. Yeah, because that has no mesh or anything like that, so yeah, no. The actual item would be in here, attached to the hand. There it is. Wait, it's in the same position as it... What if we just took the coordinates from the other one and used it? Find out. Copy... I'm gonna copy position, the rotation's easy, actually. What just happened? Just delete the character? What happened? Oh, that. Mish, thank you for the follow. Trying to figure out... Oh, let's just reload this. I have no clue what happened to our thing there, but we can... Let's reload this and we'll actually see if we can reposition that gun where it'll be positioned right. Go, scene. So I don't know what happened before, but let's just eyeball it this time. Items. Pistol. Okay, so there's that. Item. Nope, not you. I need this rig. Root. Hips. Spine. Chest. Shoulder. Arm. Items. Pistol. Okay, let's get the rotation right, though. I'm actually going to... add tab, inspector. I'm gonna lock that. I'm gonna put you right here. Go. There we go. All right. Rotation correct. Ooh, okay, we might be getting there. And 90. Hey, that looks great. Now, it's still invisible. I didn't see any shaders though, but it's got to be using that invisible, like the invisible shadow shader, because I mean, look, it's got a shadow. So something. Is it all the individual parts? Weapon game. Okay, we don't need this. Inspector here. Now that we know all the coordinates and all are the same, so that's great. That saves a lot of time. Wait, clip. Is it really? Every single part. Well, that's gonna be fun. What we're probably gonna end up doing is looping through all the child objects on this and setting the shade, the blah blah blah, not the shader, the material to normal stuff. I know how to fix that. And thankfully we can move again. Yeah. Alright, well, we're getting somewhere. Let's get that positioning for the gun set first. So rig, root, shoulder, arm, hand, item, pistol. And then the other one. Rig. Can I just pistol? Yeah, okay. So much easier. I should just do that. Doesn't seem to be going all that well for you. I mean, It's not bad. The I'm happy that we at least have the movement is working. Like I can at least move on all the other clients and it syncs perfectly. All the errors are being the errors I'm still gonna have to work out. Although it's not as much as what it was before. I was getting an endless loop of errors, but 3 I can deal with. Okay, so this transform I need to copy. Can I just copy component and just paste component values? Yes. There we go. That's awesome. I like this. The search here, that actually is nice. I can actually do that. That's completely turned off. That doesn't even have a mesh. This has a mesh, but it has a invisible. It's called invisible shadow material. Actually, no. It's called invisible shadow caster material. What network solution mirror? Yes. I am using mirror, and then the first-person shooter package, I'm using something called Ultimate Character Controller. It's also called, they have multiple different levels of that package called, there's also Ultimate FPS or something like that, but I got the character controller because it includes first person and third person, which I need for networking. So now that that's positioned correctly, let's go into here. Yeah, there's no, unfortunately, I wish they had it, but there's no, they don't have a like a compatibility or an integration package for mirror with Ultimate Character Controller yet. I don't know if they'll finish it. So kind of what I'm doing is just patching it together, which, I mean, most of it is doing pretty good. So let's take a look here. Yeah, we do have to figure out these errors. So I was trying to, so I have this network item handler that I have in the pistol. I have it on this pistol. Basically what I'm wanting to do on this is have it to where I deactivate the third person ones if it's the local player. But deactivate the first person one and enable the third person one if it's not the local player, so that you have the third person, the normal looking models and stuff, or stuff that should be third person in place, so it looks normal since you're looking at it as a third person. You may not be able to control that third person, but you're still looking at it in third person. Fun part is, though, these don't really have the best activations. Also, apparently this doesn't work, or this local player isn't working properly. I thought that would work. The only thing I've seen that does work is this on start authority, which I've done for this network character handler, which this is how I handle the movement and some of the the invisible shadow material thing for the actual player character itself. That seems to work fine. Of course, that's using on start authority. The thing is, on start authority works great, but in this case, I need a way to do stuff for the ones that don't have authority as well. So I should grab a browser window here. Mirror networking. Let me look at their documentation. They've got a... I wonder if they're doing something wrong. Guides authority. So I know, yeah, there's server authority and there's client authority, and each of the clients have their own authority. Assign client authority. How to remove authority. On authority. So there's on start and on stop authority. Check authority. Can I call? Oh wait, hold on. Can I call that? Maybe that's what I need. Instead of is local, we use to check if the local player has authority over an object. Is that what I need? Maybe that is what I need. I mean, what is local player? True if this object is the client's own local player. But it's not. Okay. I don't think so. Alright. Net identity dot has authority. If it has authority, I want this. If not, I want that. So will that work? Let's see if that works. Come on. The other one up and go on. Okay, so that's syncing. Okay, cool. Let's clear our consoles here. Okay, cool. Start. And start. Host. Client. Ready. Ready. Start. So we're still missing our first person perspective. We got movement. And movement works just fine. I'm gonna debug this. What I want to do is I want to put a breakpoint right here. Let's turn on the debugger. So, with how this should work, this method should get hit twice. Yes. One for our local player, one for our other player. And it should be that our local player, this should go into here, and for our non-local player, it should go into the else. Supposedly, that's what it should do. Okay, debugger attached. Clear that, I don't need that. You should be quiet. I don't need that. Okay, start. Host. Client. Ready. And start. Okay, we have a hit. Is authority false? So maybe that's our other character? Or has authority false? Continue. Oh, why do I have a breakpoint there? Oh. Okay, here we go. Has authority false. Really? maybe I can't do this on start. True, if this object is the authoritative player object on the client. It's not. The authoritative, okay. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Alright, experiment time. I got an idea. Here. This network character handler is on the based. It's on the base object. Or yeah, this is on the base object of the player. Supposedly, let's call it entity, no identity dot has authority. Returns the network identity of this object, which we are. So it's probably saying that we don't have authority because the gun has its own net identity, and that is probably wrong. Actually, in fact, I should probably change this. Instead of doing this here, I should probably move this script to the actual player object and then have it to where I'm referencing these. Yeah. Well, let's find out. So we're gonna put a breakpoint here. I took the breakpoint out. I'm gonna see if this works. If this works, then I'm right. So then I'll have to move stuff to here, and you can only because in order this is the object that our local player has authority over. Based off of the where is it? Our player spawn system. I think this is what does it. The coaster. Hello. I hope I didn't butcher that. I probably did. Trying to find where the player. I know it's around here somewhere. Out where I'm just staring at it and I'm not. Because there's a line of code somewhere to where it's like it gives. Is it the network game player? Maybe it's the network game player. No. Network manager? Or network manager lobby. Oh wait, add player for connection. Room player instance. The game object. Okay, so server. Well, that's when that does. Okay, that's for the room though. Find usages. That is the only spot. How does that work? Oh wait. Unstart client. Spawnable prefabs. On client connect. Client scene.register prefab. This menu's okay. Oh, it's somewhere here. I began decoding recently and I'm a bare bones beginner. My goal is to do work with game tabs. As far as pointers for bare bones beginner. I definitely say there are definitely a lot of YouTube tutorials and stuff out there for that, especially for game dev. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of on YouTube, if you've heard of a channel called Brackies. Big when it comes to Unity. There's also Blackthorn Prod. I definitely recommend him as well. I guess from personal experience, it is a little difficult to recommend stuff, because I did actually learn a little bit from, I learned most of my coding from college, but I never graduated, so I kind of just got the beginning part and just took it from there. Back in my day job as a web developer, and I use C#, which is what Unity uses. Or coding is definitely a plus when it comes to game dev. You can make games without code. Unity has a something called it's visual scripting tool, where it's instead of actually typing out code, it's more of boxes and filling out options and having little nodes that you draw a line to connect to other nodes, and just a visual scripting it's just more visual scripting language and stuff like that. I haven't really worked with it too much since, coder. I've been intrigued, and I'll probably use it for I still would probably use it for certain cases, like to help visualize like a behavior tree, or like AI, like an enemy AI, different behavior trees. Having that little visual thing kind of helps. That's kind of how I've done AI behaviors in the past. I actually looked up a tutorial on how to do this. I've used Unity has a I think it's like an animation behavior tool thing. Maybe it's not here. Yeah, it's something like that, but it's mainly for like animation and transitioning different animations. But I've used that for doing like enemy behaviors too, because you can have code attached to those, and you can do different codes on when it's switched to this behavior, do this, stuff like that. It's interesting. I just prefer to write my own code so I can better understand it more. Okay. I will definitely say from experience, it is good to know how to write code and understand code, but you don't have to write all of your own code. Some of this stuff here I didn't write. I'm using packages to kind of bridge the gap and kind of get save time on certain things, like the first person shooter part on this. I'm using something called Ultimate Character Controller, and this just has everything as far as first person shooter movement and shooting part and stuff like that. what packages. Well, for this project, I'm as far as packages, as I mentioned, I'm using the Ultimate Character Controller, and then for like networking, I'm using something called Mirror Networking. That's definitely through code. Well, you have to know how to code to do that one, obviously. And then, I mean, so far not too many packages. Project Cinema Machine, although I don't not use Cinema Machine very much, since I was going to use it with the Ultimate Character Controller, but it has its own stuff set up to where I can't really find a way to fit it in, so I might use it for like other things, because Cinema Machine's good for like if you want to do cutscenes or just different camera transitions or stuff like that. Works well. Pro Builder for just making. Pro Builder allows you to make just basic test stuff and all. Test objects easily. Actually, that's what is up here. Yeah. So yeah, you can do like make a cube like this. Just easily create objects. I gotta write this stuff down. There's a lot of information. Well, I do. All my streams are in recording, so I mean, if you need to go back and reference, feel free. I have them both saved as VODs on Twitch, and then I have on my YouTube channel, and I keep them there too. So I'm streaming to both platforms, so they're easy to access. If you ever need to go back and reference, there you go. But yeah, as far as I don't know how long have you been coding for? Well, I have been coding for about 5 years now, so yes, a lot of this does come from experience. A lot of it's just, I don't know. It's hard. It's definitely hard to explain. My logical processes are different from what I've found out from others. It's kind of harder to teach. I have more of a connect the dots. It's a lot of connect the dots kind of logic. But yeah, after 5 years, it's not bad. As far as coding, the tool that you see here, this is a paid program. I definitely, as a beginner, I wouldn't recommend this. This is called JetBrains Writer. This is kind of like if you've been coding for a while and you've got the feel on what features you like and don't like and stuff. JetBrains is really nice. But for beginners, I would recommend either using Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code's kind of a lighter version. Although I like Code better than regular Visual Studio, for the main reason being people have been recommending Unity to me. Okay, Unity is easy to learn, or fairly easy to learn. Part of it is the coding aspect, because Unity uses C#. C# is fairly easy to do, and to understand and read and stuff. Like, this is C#. Other engines like Unreal uses C++. That can be a little difficult, but I definitely recommend starting with doing Unity and using C# first. From my background, learning from college, that was actually the first language I learned was C#, and then the more advanced classes, I learned C++. And which wasn't too bad then, because I have learned C#, and once you learn one language, you get how programming works, and how there's a lot of terminology that's the same across all languages. Everything from like what a class is, what a method is, or a function, what a variable is, what an object is. It's the same across. In some cases, it might be named a little different, but the concept is still the same there. And then I definitely recommend, with Unity and all, I would recommend doing what I'm doing and trying to make like a multiplayer game. That's all. I know me learning game dev, that was what I've been told, or what I've learned from all over the place. What people have been saying is like, when you're first starting out, don't make a multiplayer game. Either I'd stick to first person and do 2D or 3D, stuff like that. If you really do want to make a multiplayer game, I would then at least keep it to a couch co-op game, because Unity does have it to where their new input system makes it fairly easy to do the couch co-op part. All it is, because couch co-op, all it is a change of just different players using different controllers. Where the networking part is, like split screen. Couch co-op, split screen, stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be split screen. I mean, if you think about it, games like Divinity, Original Sin 2 has couch co-op, but it doesn't have split screen. Everyone's on the same screen. Or Mario, or Diablo. Diablo doesn't have split screen, it's all one screen, but you have all players on the same screen. Anything like like Mario, like where all players on the same screen, you just run around on the same screen. Where split screen, you've got like your normal, like if you've ever done Halo LAN parties in the past or something like that, where you've got the split screen and each player has their own little box. That's split screen. I definitely say there's a lot of Gatorade. Actually, no, this is water with caffeinated Mio juice. I'm sorry, I run off caffeine to do coding. As far as like, starting with coding and all, there are Brackeys and Blackthorn Prod. They have, I'm pretty sure they have whole playlists when it comes to how to code specifically for Unity. And just everything with as far as the setup and stuff like that. Anyway, oh, and I know the one thing, I'd definitely say, like, as far as like the experience I've had so far when it comes to doing game dev, is Brackeys and Blackthorn Prod. It's all one word. I wonder if I can just put. Actually, let me see if I can find. I have chat here, so why don't I just go find them on YouTube and paste it in the chat. There's Brackeys, and okay, so you found them. Well, I'll still post these here for anyone else who wants to check them out.
This video is sponsored by my friend.
Oh, okay. Don't need the audio. Okay. There we go. Cool. Yeah. Definitely recommend watching those and stuff. They've got tons of videos. There's also other game engines, and if you ever do want to tackle Unreal Engine, I mean, there's plenty of tutorials out there for that too. Unreal Engine also has like a visual scripting thing as well they call them blueprints. It's okay, I guess. Not many people use the blueprints, I guess, or if they do, they use them in addition to coding. But yeah, it's okay. Alright, so what is that? Okay. This. Which do you prefer, Unity or Unreal? Well, I've used Unity. I've mostly used Unity. Unity's fine, and kind of why I'm making my game in Unity right now is because I am most familiar with C#, and I've messed around with Unity a ton. I have been trying to get my toes into Unreal, which is not too bad. A little rusty on C++, but it's not too bad to pick up and stuff. And not to mention some of the stuff they have like already like in place and available works pretty good right out of the box. I know I will probably soon try to come up with like maybe a game idea to make in Unreal so I can actually get some experience in that, and with C++, because I know for me myself, I'm trying to see like actually get a paid game dev job out there, but I don't have too many, I guess, completed projects or big completed projects to actually show on like my portfolio as far as like experience. So that's what I've been trying to do. And then, but one company I do want to like actually work for would be Digital Extremes. Have you made a game? I have made a game. I've made a couple games, mainly for game jams. I don't know if you know what game jams are, but they're basically sort of like a contest. You can either do it solo or do it with other game devs, and what you do is you're given a set time and you're given a theme, and you just make a game. The set time could either, a lot of times it's like maybe a 24, well, I haven't done a 24-hour one. I've done a 48-hour one. I've done a 48-hour one, and then I've done a week one. But a lot of times it's usually that. It's either 48-hour or up to a week, depending on the game jam. But you're given that amount of time to basically make and finish your game. And I've lost count. I think I've made, as far as games that I like, I've made 4. I've made a sort of an arcade marble physics game where it's literally just you drop the ball and it's like just rolls down the track, and it's sort of like a Super Mario Maker kind of style where you have to position all these different ramps and stuff to get the marble from point A to point B. And then the second game I did was a 2D game. It was very stylish, actually. It was more of a I'd almost want to say a tower defense, where you had to defend these 4 pillars from getting overgrown by these weeds, and you're sort of like a gardener. You're trying to maintain it, and you have like so you have to run all over the place, and as these weeds are growing, you have to like hit them and keep them back and stuff like that. That was kind of a simple game. The one after that, it was, I guess it was the one that I wasn't the most proud of, but the coding and the mechanic that I was actually able to work on wasn't too bad. I mostly worked on like the player controlling and camera and animation stuff, a little bit of the animation stuff, and it was a sort of like an open world run around, like find missing items kind of game. But that one I was really proud of because I was able to, it was third person, so got to experiment with third person camera controls and movement, and a lot of fun, and different like animation transitions. And then the game I made after that, I think was recently, I was really proud of because the main thing I wanted out of that one was make it multiplayer, and it actually worked well. In fact, some of the code that I have in my current project here, I pulled from that because it worked pretty well. And it was sort of like an arcade, like timed, like kind of an item finder as well, but it was multiplayer. So basically, what you had to do, it was the background of it was like people of like this town had lost some items, so it's like a lost and found. You have to go around and just find different items, and it was kind of like a race. It was a sort of like a race against the other players, kind of arcade, where you have to collect more items, and the more items you get, the higher your score. And then once time runs out, player with the highest score wins. Simple game, but it was super fun to program. In fact, I did all the programming for that one, and it turned out really good. Do you have a favorite? I'd almost say, I'd say the recent one was my favorite because, I don't know, it was very interesting because you definitely get more, you definitely get more experience as you do more games. And the first game I did, I wasn't the only programmer. There was another programmer on the team, and he was much more experienced, so he did most of the programming. I mostly did like level design sort of at that point. But then like for the next 3, I kind of took on more of the role of being the main programmer. In fact, and then my recent one, I was the only programmer. So it was, I guess I'd say my recent one was my favorite because part of it was I was the only programmer on the team, so I got to do everything and experience how everything worked, and it just turned out really good. Not to mention doing the multiplayer part. That was fun. In fact, yeah, as I said, I pulled some code from that project for this. In fact, this whole lobby system is from that. I was able to just toss it in here and it works. Oh yeah. I guess with this, let me get back to actually about to test out to see if my theory was true on if it's only this thing that can check for authority. Yeah, set the debugger on. I'm gonna watch you so I can like, well, I mean, you're welcome to watch. I guess that's kind of the main reason why, one of the main reasons why I do these streams is for others to watch and learn. And anyway, well, I guess, and thank you for the follow. Most appreciated. But that's kind of one of the main reasons I do these streams is for others to learn, and also Sometimes I do get more experienced developers who tune in to hear, so it's fun to hear from them and to learn from them. And I mean, I welcome the help and I welcome the experience. Always, I enjoy sharing. I guess the other reason why I do these streams is it kind of helps me keep. It kind of helps me stay motivated a little bit because I gotta kind of have the pressure that I have people watching me. So it's like I need to work, I need to program. So it's a good kind of pressure. I work well under pressure. Client, go. So I've got another Unity on a second monitor over here. So that's kind of where I'm able to do the connection. Okay, so that hit the breakpoint. Authority. Wait, is authority? Oh wait, no, this says authority false because it hasn't set it yet. Okay, so that says true. Where last time I was trying to use the net identity has authority, it said false. But that's because I was trying to access this guy in my network item handler. Yeah, here. So that's because, but that was saying false all the time because, actually, if I just hover, oh, it's not gonna do it while I'm debugging. Okay, fine. Well, let's. Yeah, let's get out of it. Cool. It's not that. Okay. Resuming thought. The reason. Okay. Back to my thought process. The reason why this would never be true is basically exactly what it's described here. True if this object is the authoritative player object on the client, which is basically the local player. But that script is on the pistol, which has its own network identity, which is not the authoritative player object. Because net identity has authority. If this object is the authoritative player object, which it is not, so that'll never be true. So I'll probably take these off and move some of that code over to this guy because that said true because it was in this script right here, network character handler. And that is on our main player object, which is being added to the connection thing. Anyway, that's kind of just me fleshing out my thought process. I was writing code yesterday and I wrote Serialize Field. What does that mean? So, Serialize Field is mainly what... Of course, it does it already. Let me actually look at this here. Network character handler. So serialized field here. I know you probably don't write it like this. A lot of times you probably see people write it like this, where it's above here. You can do it either way. But serialized field, what it does is it makes it to where this shows up in the inspector in Unity. Now, technically, you don't need serialized field if what you're wanting to show up is public. So see, like, I don't think I'd want to do it to these. Let me see if I can do a... Actually, I'll just make a new one. Okay, here's my demonstration. So if I did public. Let's just do an int. I'll just call it test int. So I'm adding this to this network character handler. If I go back to here, there it is. Test int, and then it's an int, so it's a number, so it shows, but it's already added on here. But it's public, so I don't have to put Serialize Field on this. But if I make this private, let it recompile, then it should, yep, it's gone. But if I put Serialize Field on it, come on, then it's back. Yep, if I put Serialize Field on it, but it's still private, then it's back. The main reason for this is if you want to have them show up in the inspector, but you don't want to make them public. Like for these three here, these are lists. These are lists I just drag things into to set. So like these are client only things. So basically with how this works is all these, like, actually in these behaviors, this is a good example. Thank you Goombastomp for the follow. For these client only behaviors, basically what I have here is these are behaviors, so, or scripts, component things on here. So like this, which are all these disabled ones. So like this ultimate character locomotion handler, and then the player input controller, and debug controller. All four of these I have them disabled because this is the default. But this client only behaviors thing, what this does is it will loop over everything that's in this list and enable them if this player object is the local player. So if I hit play and I start serving stuff, the player object that I'm controlling on here will have these enabled. But I don't want them enabled on any other player character that this Unity has control, this local player has control of, because I mean, you just wouldn't want that. I mean, if you were playing Halo multiplayer, you wouldn't want to be able, wouldn't want to have it to where if your motion for your character also controlled other players' characters. That's basically what you're trying to prevent here. Is to deactivate these input controller things. Anyway, so that's kind of a little bit of tangent on that, how that works. But yeah, so that's why I have Serialize Field on this. Interesting. How exciting. Okay. Also, I was following a tutorial and he was delete the word private. Okay, so that is another thing. So in C#, anything that you put, so if I just did this, when I hover over this, you can see that it still says private, because in C#, anything that doesn't have a, what is this? I'm trying to remember what the term is. Access modifier. That's what these are called. Access modifiers. Private and public. Anything that doesn't strictly declare the access modifier is default private in C#. So this is private still, even though I don't have it say private. To me personally, I don't like that. I like for understandability and readability and all that stuff, I like actually making sure this is here. So I get it. That's private. Saying that he didn't have another class or something. Didn't have another class. He's doing the word private, meaning that he didn't have another class or something. I guess I'm not too sure what his meaning by that was, but maybe part of it is he didn't have too much worry about having to have an access modifier if it's just going to be private. Now it says public class. Okay. Yeah. So access modifiers are basically to help as far as coding, as far access to other stuff. So like I have this network. Let me see if I can demonstrate on this. Actually, this will work. This test int. If I go into here, and so in this network item handler, I can access this network character handler. So if I just do, oops, network character handler dot, and let's say I wanted to get that int. So test int. So this is complaining. Cannot access private serialized field test int because it's private. So the whole public and private thing is where if something is private, I can't access it from a different class. Now, the network character handler is public, but I can't access this. Now, if I made this public, then this cannot access non-stat. Okay, well that's a whole different thing. Cannot access non-stat. So actually, if I did static is a whole different thing. To avoid that, I need to actually what's called newing it up. So I just have a variable here, set new network character, and instead of accessing the class directly, I access this variable. So I've got this whole, it's an instance of that class. So what is this doing? Only assignment cause, okay. Oh, because I'm not doing anything. So I set it to 0. There. So now it's not complaining anymore. But I need a semicolon there. Go. Yeah, if I put this back to private, then yeah, that immediately starts complaining. And that's the whole thing with access modifiers. Now, a lot of times you don't have to worry too much about it, but there's some cases to where you really don't want to be able to access these other things from other classes. Like honestly, right now I don't really have a case where I would be wanting to do this. So keeping like this test int private is just fine. Or like in this case, having these private is basically I want to be able to set these from Unity. I'm gonna be doing this like every day, so it's like second nature to me. I mean, go for it. I mean, if you wanting to really learn on how to code and stuff, I mean, it definitely comes down to like dedicating some time and all. And I mean, if you really enjoy it, then I mean, yeah, go for it. You find out that you enjoy it. Yeah. So I guess I'll continue with what I'm doing here so you can learn a little bit more. So what I was doing, oh yeah, this network character handler. What I need to do, what I need to do is I need to move the code that's here, because that doesn't work there. I need to move that into my network character handler right here. Okay, so it's complaining about these because I don't have a reference. Oh, there you are. Let's enter there. So that'll add a reference, which adds it. Oh, that's unneeded code. Move unused directives in file. Yes, there. Clean that up. I was forced to do it. I'm a big procrastinator. I understand that. I'm a big procrastinator too. That's kind of one reason why I do these streams. I'm trying to set a schedule for myself to do these streams, because it kind of puts that pressure on me and forces me to, like, okay, I need to sit down, learn, do work, stuff like that. Which, speaking of schedule, I do, well, my streaming schedule's on my Twitch about and stuff like that. But just to reference, I do these game dev streams twice a week. The first one being today on Thursday from 4:30 to 7:30 Eastern time. And then the second time I do it on Saturdays from 4:30 to 7:30 Eastern time. And then I have a third stream that I do Saturday nights, which is just me playing with friends. I'm kind of just sticking to that right now, because I've tried to do all sorts of different schedules in the past, and then I would overbook myself and then just get burned out. Which, yeah, I definitely recommend don't burn yourself out. Or especially with learning, learn some stuff, fill it up, and then just learn and all that stuff, and then take a break. Let it sit. That's kind of one of the most important parts when it comes to learning. Is just let the information sit. Okay, so this is not gonna work because I don't have a third person perspective item component on game object, which is the player object. So I need to get the gun, our gun object that we have. So I'm wondering if there's a way. There's got to be a way to get the equipped gun. Which I think there is, because there's this item handler here. Items. That's an item type. Not what I want though. I bet the item handler probably has what we need. So let's item handler. We're gonna do the same thing here, actually. Item handler dot. Okay, enabled name game object. That's probably just that's just what it's attached to. Transform. Nope. Actually, let's do a to definition on this. Inventory base player. Okay. Items. Where is it getting the items from? No, that can't be it. Well, it has access to the inventory. Each object should only be updated once. Clear the frame after. Get active item. Okay. That on equip item. But there's no public. There's no public methods in here. Are there any games you'd like to play? Yeah, so with friends, a lot of times we play some of the multiplayer games. One of my favorite games is Warframe, and sometimes we bounce back and forth between Warframe and Destiny 2. But I still like Warframe more because Warframe's just a whole lot of fun, and it's a lot. Like I love Warframe and I love their developers because the developers actually do care about the community. I played BDO a lot. BDO. Remind me what that is again? I'm not too sure what that is. That or I do, and it's just completely going over my head. Black Desert. Oh yeah, Black Desert. I've played Black Desert a bit. I've been wanting to get back to it sometime in the future because I mean I wasn't a biggest fan on how because I hear it's a lot of people complain that it's pay to win, and I know they have a big like microtransaction thing on it. But the one thing that kind of drew me in was the combat. It was like one of the only MMOs that I came across that the combat was action based. It was action combat and I loved it. I loved doing all the combos and stuff like that. It was amazing. Probably that's mainly one of the reasons why I like Warframe too. Warframe's not big open world MMO, but the combat and all the different like combos and stuff and things that you can do with the weapons and stuff, it's a lot of fun and it's very fast paced and it's almost, after playing it a bit, it's almost how do I put it? It's almost therapeutic. You ever heard of Ashes of Creation? It rings a bell. I think I've heard of it. I don't remember what it's about. Look it up. All right. Look it up. Ashes of Creation. Oh, it's something that's coming out. Interesting. Okay. Looks really interesting. I do like MMOs, although I don't get to play many MMOs. Watch the Lazy Peon video. I don't get to play too many MMOs. Like, it's hard to play a ton of MMOs because obviously all MMOs are those games that you have to you seriously invest time into. I'd say the MMOs I invest most of my time into would be Warframe, I guess, is sort of an MMO, along with Destiny 2. But as far as traditional MMOs, Guild Wars 2, I definitely say is one of my favorite MMO RPGs. Part of it is because my first ever MMO RPG was Guild Wars 1. They said from the beginning it will never be pay to win. Okay, I'll have to check out to see how that'll be. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Interesting. We don't get, I'd say there aren't too many new MMOs that come out. I know there's a YouTuber that I follow who strictly is on reviewing MMOs and plays MMOs, and he complains about that too. It's like there's not many new MMOs that come out recently. I mean, there's a good reason by it, is because MMOs are they're huge. I mean, they're giant projects that game devs spend years on. But although with some technologies, I mean, the time it takes to probably make one is probably a lot better than what it was in the past. But 64 classes, wow. Ashes of Creation, 64 classes. That'd be, oh man, picking the one you want. That'd be difficult. Okay, so item handler. The item handler is not something that we would be able to use. Also, how do you make your own assets? I can definitely tell you that making my own assets is definitely not my strong suit. I mean, the current assets I have here came with the Ultimate character controller package. But that's probably another thing that you'd probably want to look videos up on for 3D assets. The one thing I'd recommend for that is maybe like pick up like a program called Blender. It's the best free 3D model maker thing, and there's lots of tutorials out there, and there's probably even tutorials on how to make models in Blender and use them in Unity. There's that, and then as far as like maybe 2D assets, when it comes to free tools, I would recommend GIMP. GIMP is the free Photoshop out there. Of course, there's probably others. I mean, I know there's like Paint.net. I guess there's a whole bunch of others, but I think from what I've heard, the closest thing when it comes to like Photoshop is a program called GIMP. And there's probably tons of tutorials out there too. If you're not an artist, but you wanted to make your own stuff, I would start with pixel art, because pixel art's probably the easiest thing to make. Right? Photoshop. Yep, Photoshop works. In fact, I think Unity has a way to where you can just import Photoshop files in, and it'll make assets from those. You can draw. Okay, so you're an artist. You're coming from an artist background and learning to program. That's cool. From what I hear, that's the preferred start when it comes to game dev, is learn the artist skills and then pick up programming later. Although doing it the other way around is not impossible. I know I need to find some time to do some art stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Unity can import Photoshop files. I think they're called PSDs. Yeah, I think I got that right. And you can import those directly into Unity. It's literally just you just put it into your project window thing here, and you can just click on and it'll show like import settings or something in the inspector thing, and you can just rearrange things and select different options to import stuff, and then you can just literally just drag it into your window and it'll be there. But I guess there's a lot of free assets out there too. Definitely don't be afraid to use free assets. It's an easy way to just get assets and use, or you can use free assets as like placeholders for now, so you can get the game down and then replace the assets later with more finalized stuff. I mean, even some of the best selling games out there on like Steam have used pre-made assets or free assets and stuff. The one I can think off the top of my head is I think it's called The Last Tree. I'm butchering it. I know I'm butchering it. I'm even taking a course that developer made. I don't know why I can't think of it. I'm pretty sure it's The Last Tree. It's about a fox, and it's got like a sad story and stuff, and the last tree. The first tree. The first tree, not the last tree. The first tree. I just feel like if I use free assets, I'll get like sued or something for making money off of a game with those assets. If you get your free I mean, obviously look at the licensing. A lot of times, a lot of the licensing will be, I think it's like Creative Commons or something like that. Those are perfectly fine to use. Of course, any free assets that you find on Unity's store you can use in any game that you make money off. That's perfectly fine. But if you're still unsure, yeah, look at the licensing. If you're not too sure how the licensing works, I'm pretty sure there are tons of YouTube videos out there you can probably just search game dev asset licenses or something like that, and it'll probably inform you a little bit on how those kind of things work. Got an error here. Oh, that's because I'm still working on stuff. Okay, well, that won't work. That's right, the item handler won't work. What I need, I wonder if the item set manager will work. Wait, there's an inventory. Wait, inventory. I just saw in the script, for item handler, let's just do quick definition. Inventory base. Get cached component. Inventory base. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's a way I can utilize that. Get component inventory. Import missing references. There you go. Oh, it derives from inventory base. Cool. When in doubt, YouTube. Yes. I mean, yeah. When in doubt, YouTube. I mean, game dev has been like has been booming in the latest years because you've got the internet. There's so much information out there. There's so many tutorials. There's all sorts of stuff, and I guess sort of coming from my background where I've a little bit on my background, I have attended 2 colleges. Both were just for generic computer science, IT, coding degrees and stuff, but I never finished them. The first one was mainly because, I don't know, just kind of just ran out of money and had to leave, and the other part of it, I guess, yeah. And then the second one was, I mean, I got a job. I got an internship, and I was making a good bit of money from that, and kind of just had to, and I was doing really good on that internship to the point where it's like, hey, we'll take you on full time. And basically I was at that point where I just had the choice between, okay, I drop college and go full time, or I stay an intern and keep going to college. Well, the whole point of doing college is to get a job. So, full time. And that's what I did. And I've kind of considered myself a little bit self-taught, sort of, because I never finished a degree. I'd say I'm self-taught, sort of, but I'd say the degrees that I took, I basically got the classes and got the know-how and all the information I needed from college, and then just left. Because it's like, I got everything I need to start and to learn how to learn, and just took it from there. And sure enough, I mean, do you have an associate's? Nope. The first college I attended, I tried going for a bachelor's in computer science, and then the second one I tried getting an associate's in, I think it was IT, with a focus in programming. But I didn't graduate and didn't complete either of them. In fact, the last one I had, I was like, I think it was on like, I was on my second year and like third semester and stuff. Like, I was close to having all my credits, and then I was just like, nah. Like, and if I had kept going, I probably would have put myself in like more debt or something like that. And I was like, is it really worth it? Then it's like, nope. Of course, that was just for me, like, getting it to where I could just get my foot in the door to get a decent like job that sort of gives me experience to where I really want to go, and that's game dev. I mean, I love game dev. I mean, I'm doing these streams and all because I love game dev. I mean, I mean, and I've loved it even more recently. I've just because my day job is a web developer, and even though I'm doing programming and stuff like that, and some of the stuff I do is pretty cool and stuff, but overall it's like, it's boring. Like, it doesn't interest me much anymore. Like, as far as like the web dev stuff, I love doing games and actually visually seeing like how my programming affects like the characters moving and the controlling and stuff like that, and it's just so freaking cool. When I was in high school, I really wanted to go to Full Sail for game dev, but you know, money. So of all the time I've learned, and see, I actually did look at Full Sail after a bit. After my first 2 colleges, I was like, you know, maybe I should actually see about getting a game dev degree. Just go for it. And that's great and all, but I don't know, it's just a piece of paper. It's really just a piece of paper. I mean, the whole time I worked as a web developer, I went from intern to like the mid-level in like I'd say 2 years there. Part of it because I got it, I understood, I was absorbing everything. I learned more from that job than I learned in college. And over the time when I worked, we got more interns that came in, and a lot of those interns just didn't cut it. And these were interns that were basically to the point on completing their degree, or they got their degree, but as far as like motivation or just some basics on learning just wasn't there. I mean, just down to basics was, I mean, with learning and all, you got to know how to use Google. That is a basic skill. You need to learn how to use Google. That's not, I'm not saying that it to not ask for help from like other people, or asking for help from like your coworkers or stuff like that, but part of it is like learning how to know how to use Google, try to look up on how do I fix this, how do I do this, because the information is out there. And then like what I've learned is like take time, like 30 minutes and all, try to look up try to fix the problem or answer your question just from Google, and then if you still can't figure it out, then bring someone in. Or if you still can't figure out the problem, yeah, then ask someone to look at it and all. Because sometimes, from coding perspective, sometimes it'll look face value, it'll look like this should be working. This should be working. Like everything looks correct, everything looks fine. Why isn't this working? And then you bring a second set of eyes in, and they're like, "Oh, you missed a semicolon, or you didn't dot your I's or cross your T here, or something like that, or this has a different name than what you're trying to find." And when you have problems like that, and then you just have someone comes in and they fix it in like a second like that, that's when it's like you just want to bash your head against the desk. And a lot of times you come across stupid problems like that. But I guess where was I when I came on that tangent? But college, yeah. But I don't know, just having a degree, I've learned, doesn't, especially in fields, in majority of fields, having a degree doesn't really mean anything. Now, there are certain fields where a degree is important. Like, I mean, if you're going into like medical or financial or law or something like that, degrees do matter. That's where I'd say, yeah, go to school, get a degree and stuff like that. But when it comes to like a skill, programming, art, photography, acting, or any of these things where you can demonstrate the skill and all, I would say a degree doesn't really matter all that much. If you've got the skill and you can do like a portfolio and stuff, and you can demonstrate and show your work and all, that speaks loads more than just a piece of paper. Which is one reason why I'm working on these projects. You thought my cursor was, yeah, okay, I've done that. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of where my thing has come from. I kind of gave up on trying to get a degree, because now I'm at the point where I don't really need it. I mean, I'm working on projects like this, and I just need to actually put in the time to actually do these projects. That's my problem now, is actually like sit down and do these, quit procrastinating and actually do these projects, so I can actually add them to my portfolio, make something great, and then when I'm applying for jobs, I can be, hey, look at this, and the employers will be like, wow, this is freaking awesome. One of the reasons why a along with this project that I'm working on here, I want to do a Unreal Engine project, is because since Unreal uses C++, and I want to get more practice into that, because one of the companies I really want to work for is Digital Extremes, the makers of Warframe. It's also the fact that, like, honestly, like, because their developers are amazing, and from what I hear, like, a lot of their, like, game dev environment is like a lot of, like, experimenting and letting their developers, like, actually, like, try stuff out and kind of come up with their own, like, cool mechanics that they could probably put into the game. And just they sound like they're a group of developers that are open to innovation and testing stuff out and trying new things, which I love. What did you intern for? I interned for web developer. In fact, the company I'm working for right now is still the company I was working for as an intern. Although right now it's kind of a different role. I'm not full time with them anymore. Instead, I'm a contractor. So I'm more of a self-employed kind of thing. They're my client now. So I've kind of turned it around. I'm my own boss. So it works out okay. I mean, there's some ups and downs, but I think overall I like all the ups that have come from it. And I mean, if I ever do, maybe I'll go the route of being an indie game dev and actually just making my own games. I guess being a contractor kind of is or being my own boss and being a independent programmer kind of opens the doors for that. Unlike Rockstar. Yeah, I've heard about that. I'm not too sure about how that would go. I'm trying to remember what I was doing here with the code. Those are protected, public. Okay, so inventory. What do I have here? I need to get... I need to get the active item. No. Get active item. Returns the active item in the specified slots. I don't know how that's gonna go. I'm guessing it's 0, so I'm just gonna do 0. But what does this return? An item. I would love to work for Bethesda. Yeah, I've thought about that too. Although when Bethesda was by themselves, they honestly weren't. They weren't doing all that great towards the end. Yeah, I wouldn't mind working for Bethesda. I mean, yeah, I love games like Skyrim and Fallout. They're great games. Although I think I'd be more inclined to work for them a bit more now, since they're under Microsoft's wing. I know it's kind of a lot of people frown at, like, oh, companies acquiring other companies and stuff like that. But honestly, a lot of the game dev companies that have been acquired by Microsoft are thriving. I mean, another company I wouldn't mind working for that's currently under Microsoft's wing is Rare. Because another game I like from Rare recently is Sea of Thieves. There's definitely some dislikes I have of Sea of Thieves. Like, I know but I mean, there's only so much they can do as far as like griefers and stuff like that, and trying to balance the PvP and PvE part of Sea of Thieves. But overall, I mean, the game Sea of Thieves overall is freaking awesome. And Rare has made pretty cool titles in the past. I mean, I used to play like Banjo-Kazooie. Those were awesome. Yeah, Bethesda, Rare, Naughty Dog maybe. Which not, I think, yeah. There's a lot of different companies in the past. I'm still shooting for Digital Extremes, because the other reason is their headquarters are actually fairly close to where I'm living right now. So, if I got a job with them, then it's like, oh look, I'm not very far away. I wouldn't mind. It'd probably be easy for me to just move over there if I needed to. Okay, so we're getting our item here. What about the game? Can I wait? Get item. Let's just do item dot game object. Oh wait, can I do get? Oh wait, I can get, okay, get component. So then I can just, yeah, okay. Get rid of that, and let's just do item here. Cool. That should work. That's fingers. Okay. So going back to Unity here. So let's remove this and the network identity. Hit play. See how this works. Post. Client. Ready. Ready. Start. Okay. Ooh, crap. Back to endless. Endless errors. And no movement. That's fun. Okay. We're probably gonna have to debug this. Turn on debugging. Yes. Play. Play. Post. Client. And start. Has authority true? Do we have an item? We don't have an item, so we're failing to get the active item. Okay, so that's why we're getting errors, is because the item is not there. This does it on awake. Okay. So not start, it does it on awake. So if I just change it to awake. Actually, what I should probably do is try to keep testing this out with just single player, or just the one player here. Post, ready, start. Has authority says false. Do we have an item? No, we don't. Means it's going to crash. Okay. We have an issue. I guess I could do it on update. I don't know about that. We have too much stuff. Active item. Actually, what is... Am I getting the slot wrong? Maybe that's what it is. Player. Slot ID 0. That's not what I need. I need to go here. Inventory. Default loadout. Wait, current inventory. Nothing in inventory. I could just do an on-equip event. What's this view loadout on my view loadout? I'm not understanding too much on what you mean by view loadout. Let's try, I got an idea. Let's try this again. We could put breakpoint in here. Let me put a breakpoint here. And then we have a breakpoint there. Oh, oops. Can't be in a prefab. Okay, so that's good. It hits here first. There's 2 items. So there are items. Player clone. Whoops. Let's continue. Stop this. What are my PC specs? They're okay. They're close to top of the line, but well, except for one part. Here I have. Take a look here. Actually, I have one of the new Ryzen CPUs. Yeah, AMD Ryzen 9 5900. But my graphics card is fairly old. I have a GeForce GTX 1080. So I've been trying to get a new graphics card, but I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get the newer graphics cards now because of all the scalpers or the high in demand and all that stuff. That's not that bad now. And from what I've heard, the 1080 is actually one of the graphics cards that people are even trying to still get their hands on. In fact, price for this one has gone up. And it's like I think a 6-year-old graphics card. 1080 still packs a punch. Yep. And then I have like 32 gigs of RAM, and I custom build my my PC, and I've been upgrading it over the past years. So yeah, I have 2060. Okay, it's not bad. Okay, so let's break this down. I want to view the inventory, so let's just do this now, and then we'll do item equals inv. Cool. Then I'm going to put a breakpoint there. And clear, play, post, ready, start. Okay, so we know you fire off inventory. Okay, here we go. Slot count 2. Okay, so it has everything. Why can I not get active item? Oh, they're both null. Why are they null? Huh. That's a pain. Is it because this is a network handler, maybe? More fun custom building. Yeah, I agree. I custom build. I've actually custom built a lot. I've got my own PC, I've custom built my wife's PC, and then We have like an in-home server that I've custom built as well. Different things like holding like video files and stuff like that, and movies and all those different things. All items. There's no items. Huh. There's slots. But for some reason I can't get the item. Maybe they're just not set yet. Oh, is it just reserving the spots? Where's this active item? Equip item internal, unequip item internal, remove item identifier. Maybe this isn't, you know what, fine. Here's what I'm going to do. Serialize Field. Private. Game object. Okay, so I'm going to pass in Is that really what I want to do? Hold on. Player. Yeah. So this guy right here is what I want. So the items parent, so I'll pass that in using Unity, and what I'm going to do is how do you get, so I want to get the child objects. Unity get child game object. Oh, is it just get child? Original game object, find transform.get, okay. Well, okay, well, I get it. I think I know how to do it. Parent.transform. Okay, there's a child count. Let's do a for loop. 0 while I is less than items parent dot transform dot child count, and then plus plus. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're going to get I'm gonna grab this. Put it in here. So for each child, which is one of our items, we want to do items parent transform dot get child I dot this should, what does this return? I think this returns a transform. Yes. Dot game object. And this is going to be game object item. Boom. So then we're basically looping through all the items that we have, and what we want to do is we want to set the perspective thing to whatever whether we have authority or not. So that should work. The kind of down to basics way of doing it. So what we need to do is go in here, there's our items parent. We need to do pass into that. Items. Done. And then hit play. Start. We don't need these. I think it worked. Yeah, I think it worked. We're not getting like insane errors or anything like that. We do have some errors, but that's stuff I still have to work through. Alright, getting towards the end of the stream, I'm going to quickly use the restroom, and then I'll come back and continue maybe a little bit, or if you guys have any questions, any additional questions you want to ask me or anything like that, I'll open the floor for any of those. So I will be right back. Alright, I've got about, well, shouldn't be too bad. I'd say maybe about like 10-20 minutes left for the stream, but actually let's test out our test out the multiplayer part on this, see if that part works. Kind of the whole point on doing this. Host, client, ready, and start. Oh, breakpoints. No. There we go. We're still getting lots of errors. Lovely. Well, you're not supposed to. And then our player 2 still can't move. Interesting. Definitely gonna have to figure that one out. Actually, let's just see if it does this. I'm gonna put a breakpoint on that, and then we will see what happens. Start. There we go. Okay. Oh, so there it is. Okay, pistol. So it's got the item. So no authority. Okay, the item is there. Oh, something's breaking. Ah. Okay. Why is it breaking? Well, let's find out. Let's actually assign this here, and then just set active on here. Go. And then we'll do the same for the other one. Go. Oops. Play. Just plant. Ready. Ready. Do we have the breakpoint? Yep. It never hit it. Huh. That's weird. Oh, wait. I'm gonna have 2 breakpoints here, so whichever one goes in. I'm back, had to grab dinner. Okay, well, yeah, I'll probably be ending the stream here in about 10-20 minutes, 10-15 minutes and stuff, because I'll be getting myself some dinner. Come on. Wait, I did host on that one. Okay. Oh, well, we'll do that. Start. Okay, so yeah, it seems like the host can still move, but for some reason client can't move. It can move them, like you can look around, but you can't move. Of course, now it feels like it's not even going into here. It's odd. Oh, because debugger's not on. That's why. Okay. Clear. Play. So, why are we having issues with this? Okay, so does not have authority. Third person perspective. Okay, so we are getting the third person perspective item. Set failing on that. Huh. Let's dig into this. Active, has item. Doesn't equal null and has item. So holster target is null. The object doesn't equal null. Base set active. Allow the base object to deactivate the actual. That's the pistol. Huh. So what I'm trying to do is probably not gonna work. Okay. So why am I... Comment that out. I think, what is my reasoning to do that anyway? Can't move. Whatever is causing the lockup and the other player not being able to move has something to do with this. Set item ID parameter. Why? Well, let's put something here. And ready, start. What is your issue? ID 0, value 2. What are you failing? So I'm guessing if item parameter doesn't contain the slot. Okay. Breaking somewhere. Try this again. So this start equip is the first thing that fails. What is this all? Start. The first person object's component should first be aware of the equip so it can correctly activate the base object. Okay. First person perspective item. So that's where it's breaking. I'm wondering if, an idea, because we don't want both perspectives on the gun. Yeah, because this is not going well. Oh, I know what's wrong. Yeah, the first person perspective thing here. I'm trying to turn it off on the other player, but it's not. I would turn it off. And it's referencing these objects that are in these first person objects thing that's not available. So, So I was trying to deactivate. First person perspective item is a perspective item. Perspective item. State being. I guess I'm not. Or is this authority thing not working? I have no clue if this is gonna work. Yeah. Well, let's give it a try. Nope, I still can't move. I don't think it's deactivating this. Sometimes it can be annoying to debug code, trying to figure out what's going on. Overall, it's not terrible. Trying to come up with a solution. Let's try some. Player. No, it doesn't need a holster. Yeah, I have a general idea. I know what the problem is. The problem is, I'm trying. I have this first-person perspective item on here, and I'm pretty sure the problem is it's trying to find this object right here. There's Nolan first-person arms, and that's in here. This is deactivated. This is deactivated because I only want to show those for first person. For the local thing. So yeah, I'm just trying to come up with a good solution for this. Maybe if I just moved it to a different weapon, might be a good idea. That, or I just apply when need. What was the problem? Problem is, I think on load, this guy is not accessible because I have it deactivated. This is the first person, like this is what you see in first person all, but I want these to say deactivated because for our network, our other player, we don't want to see this part. We want to see third person perspective. But the thing is, this pistol still has this first person perspective item on it, so I think this is where it's complaining. I bet I have an idea. Let's duplicate this. Let's rename. Well, I'd have to assign it though. I don't know how that would work. If it is, yeah, try it as local player. That didn't seem to work. Well, I didn't try local player. I'm gonna say false. But yeah, I am kind of doing that here. Let me show you. I've got this network character handler that I have on the player character. I have these lists. I'm going through and basically deactivating. Well, actually, these are enabling stuff. But these right here. So if it's the local player, you can enable these, or it'll, if it's client only or local player and all, it'll enable all of these that I have disabled all over the place. I didn't even post it. It looks like the bot, yeah, the bot probably takes certain characters into consideration when it comes to seeing if it's a link. Yeah, I've tried is local player, but I've also been trying has authority. Of course, these components, for some reason, like the enable or disable doesn't want to work on them. I mean, they're scripts. They're the scripts on the pistol here. I mean, I could just dynamically add these. I don't know if that, I don't think that would be an idea. Let me try, maybe has authority doesn't work. Maybe it is a local player. Maybe that would work better. Is local player. So this is what I want to happen if is local player, and this is what I want to happen if it's not local player. I want the third person perspective to be active on non-local players. So, hit play. Get out of the prefab and hit play. Post. Ready. Client. Ready. Start. I'm still getting errors. Well, the host can move, but yeah, movement is gone in the offer for the non-host. Stop it. Let me look at these errors. I need to look at these in detail. Object reference not sets an instance of an object. It's looking for, wait, set equip. Yeah, and it's trying to get $852, so it's failing right here. First person objects. So yeah, first person object component should first be aware of the equipped. Okay, this is under the first person perspective item. My first person objects, I'm pretty sure, are first person perspective item, render object. I bet it's that. That would function the same, pretty sure. Oh, yeah, okay, you're talking about the is local. Okay, so yeah. So it looks like just deactivating this is not helping or not working. I guess there's no way to deactivate this because there's item, shootable weapon. Anything like when this starts up, is there anything I can check? Initialize. If initialized, return true. Alright, well, I'm out of time for the day. I'm actually over my stream time, so I will be streaming again Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we'll basically same times as that when I start today, and it'll end at 7:30. Or sometimes I'll do, if I feel up to it, I'll do surprise streams. Who knows? But I'll be streaming Saturday, and then Saturday evening will be I'll do another stream, but it'll just be me with doing some games with friends. But for all of you joining, thank you. It's been fun. I definitely enjoy it when I have streams with actual people who are talking to me, so not too lonely. But thank you all for joining, and I hope you all have a great evening. See ya.